course, the simple interest formula can also be used backwards. In particular, we can use interest and two of these to work out the third one of these. So I'm going to show you three problems. First one, working out the principal. Second one, working out the rate. Third one, working out the time. But actually, they're all done the same way. See, when you're going forwards, you're going to multiply these three things together. So if you're given the interest and you have to work backwards, then you're going to do a division instead of a multiply. It's that easy. First problem. Emily earned $2,088 for investing for 3 years at 4% per annum. How much did she invest? Well, write the formula down. Put in what you know. How much interest was earned? $2,088. What was the principal? Don't know, that's what I'm going to find out. What was the rate? It was 4% per annum and it was 3 years, so let's work annually. 4% per annum is 0.04 and the time, number of years, is 3 years. Well, the principal multiplied by these gave me that. So to work out the principal, I'm going to be dividing by these things, do the opposite operations. So the principal is going to be what was up there already, divided by 0.04 times 3. Now be careful when you put this in your calculator, make sure you do this together. I highly recommend you put brackets around there, because if you don't, your calculator will do this divided by that, multiplied by 3 on top, which is not what you want. So on your calculator, you go 2088 divided by open brackets, 0.04 times 3, close brackets. Or you can type this as a fraction on your calculator, in which case, assuming you have a calculator that can do fractions, and if you do it that way, then your calculator will do the correct thing. Anyway, you should get, the principal is $17,400. Notice the way I've set that out? It doesn't matter that the P's on the right and the numbers on the left. It doesn't matter at all. If it really bothers you, you can turn it around, or you can just turn it around at the last line. It doesn't matter. I prefer to keep my algebra setting out neat, equal signs underneath each other. P doesn't move because it hasn't changed. Okay? So I used my simple interest formula to work backwards from the interest to the principal. That was the principal. Okay. Second problem, rate. If I had $26.40 for investing $220 for 4 years, what was the annual rate of interest? Well, write the formula. Put in what you know. The amount of interest, $26.40. Principal, I invested $220. Rate, I don't know. It's okay, we'll solve for it. And time, 4 years. Just like before, to find the rate, instead of multiplying by these things, I'm going to be dividing by them on that side. R is 2640 divided by 220 times 4. And again, be careful with your calculator. Either put these in brackets or type it as a fraction on your calculator if your calculator can do that. Carefully, 26.4 divided by brackets, 220 times 4, close brackets, 0.03 is my rate. And because it's an annual rate of interest, it is annual because I worked for 4 years, Because it's a rate of interest, we tend to give that as a percent per annum. So we go, R is 3% per annum. If you prefer, you could write a sentence here. The annual rate of interest was 3% per annum. Or 3% will do because you said annual. Or the rate of interest was 3% per annum. Okay? Third problem, time. For how long would you need to invest $1,000 before you had enough for a holiday costing $1,400 if you get 5.1% per annum simple interest? Okay? Formula. Put in what you know. How much interest do I need to earn? Well, I need to earn interest to get my $1,000 principal up to $1,400 future value. The interest is the difference. $400 is the interest I need to earn. The principal is what I invested. The rate of interest is 5.1% per annum. So that's 0.051. If you get stuck, 5.1 divided by 100. That's what the percent sign means. Multiplied by the time. Okay? If I was trying to work out the interest given the time, I'd be multiplying. So to work out the time, I have to divide. The time is going to be 400 divided by 1,000 times 0.051. And again, carefully with your calculator, 400 divided by brackets, 1,000 times 0.051, close brackets. The time, it says, is 7.843, and it keeps going. Now, how am I going to understand this number? Well, if I was working with an annual interest rate, then this must be the number of years. So the time here is 7.843, and the decimals keep going, 7.843 years. Now, if you're actually investing this in a bank, and you have to take a whole number of years, then to get up to this amount, you're going to have to invest for 8 years. If you had to have a whole number of years, you would have to invest enough to get over this amount, so you need next whole number more than this, 8 years. But of course, perhaps you can do it per month. Well, how many months is 0.843 years? 0.843 divided by 12. That'll give me the number of months. Okay? 0.843 divided by 12. Get your calculator. In fact, if you have this number on your calculator already, you can get this one just by subtracting 7, and then you keep all those lovely decimal points. So subtract 7, then we're going to go divided by 12 tells me that didn't work. Why not? Oh, of course, not divided by 12. This is the number of years. If I want to turn it into months, months are smaller than years. I have to multiply. Okay? Multiply by 12. My mistake. Multiply by 12 and you get 10.12 months. So, in fact, if I'm going by months, I can invest for 7 years and just over 10 months. So again, I have to go by months. 7 years and 11 months. Just 1 month less than the full 8 years. There you are.